If you sat down this morning and looked at your bank statement and wondered, what happened to the last year? Did I actually spend all my money, or have I made any progress in my financial journey? And if you're starting your financial journey for the very first time, these 7 habits that I'm about to say right now will set you in the right direction and give you clarity in terms of how your income and your wealth journey would look like. No overwhelming changes, just practical steps to guide you in the right direction. Hi, I'm Wilf. Welcome to B&IE. I've been living in the UK for the last 15 years, and this specific guide is drawn from my own personal journey, making mistakes, understanding along the ways, and understanding what moves the needle. And this specific guide is for anyone who is ready to take control of their financial situation. No hype, just facts driven by data. Before you start off on any of your financial plan, look back on your previous year. Why do people tend to ignore this particular step? They feel that life is very busy, they don't have time, or it's way too complicated to go through these numbers. It's absolutely essential for us to look through all of these details. To make it simple for you, instead of looking at the entire year, start with 3 months, the easiest way. If you're someone who's never looked at the bank statement in the past or has never looked at their financial health, and you probably fall into the category of someone who's a beginner, pick 3 months worth of your bank statement and look at your incomes and your outgoings. Look at the things that you are spending it on: wants, needs, and savings, and calculate what those amounts are. And these days, your own bank account will provide you those level of information on the app to see where your spendings are. That'll give you initial insight into what your spending habits looks like and where you're actually spending your money. And if you're in the middle, someone who's already been actively calculating and keeping track of your budget, then it might be worth checking your savings rate. Is it matching or beating the inflation? Is your investments also beating your inflation? If it's not, then it's time for you to rebalance and adjust that. A clear, honest look at your financial balance gives you an insight and sets you the clear foundation to proceed onto your investment journey. Step 2 is setting clear, motivating financial goals in the new year. When you set vague goals, they always tend to fail. Make your goals specific and exciting so you keep a track of it and you keep yourself motivated to achieve that, whether if you're starting from zero or just scaling up. If I ask this question to you as to why you're investing and you said, save more money, that is the kind of mindset most of the investors get into when they're starting off their initial journey. And there's nothing wrong with that. But here's the thing, when you set a vague goal, that always tend to fail. If you set a goal, simple goal, let's say you want to save enough money to go on that dream holiday to America or to visit Australia, then you have a goal in mind. So you will target and you will stay motivated and stay invested. Data shows people with written goals are 42% more likely to achieve them. And here's where people tend to go wrong. They overload their investment with multiple ideas or multiple goals. And when you have multiple goals, you lack motivation. And sometimes that lack of motivation itself enough for you to abandon your investment journey. And here's how you can do it. If you're a beginner, just have an investment goal, like say to yourself, I want to create that $500 or £500 of emergency fund, and you want to do that in an X amount of time. And if you're someone who's actively doing that or already built the emergency fund, think of automating this. Let's say you want to automate and deposit £200 into that emergency fund each month. And if you are someone who's actively investing, then look at your portfolio and see if it is currently well aligned. Is there room for you to increase your contribution? Make sure you write them down and stay consistent and follow this through. And if necessary, try and rebalance based on your circumstances. Step 3, refresh your budget and track your spending. In the new financial year, it's not about cutting fun. It's about directing your money where it matters the most. Budgets tend to get outdated quite quickly. If you're a beginner, you may not have a budget in the beginning. If you're a starter, you must be tracking something, but you may be tracking inconsistently. And if you're an investor, you might be tracking something, but you might be ignoring those creeping expenses. The recent UK data shows that an average family spends about £1,000 on unnoticed subscription. They tend to adapt to their higher spending habits. And when you consistently keep spending, then your goals will tend to stay further apart. And here's how you can do this. If you're a beginner, follow the 50-30-20 rule. 50% for your needs, 30% for your wants, and 20% of your income goes to your savings. The next thing you want to do is track your spending using certain apps that are available. Your own banking app might give you your spending habits, so you might want to consider that. And if you want to take it to a next level, maintain your monthly spreadsheet. A spreadsheet which talks about your monthly outgoings, tracked everything to the dot. When you do monthly check-ins, it's not about restricting yourself, but it gives you that momentum and motivating factor to see your income, and it gives you the control on your outgoings and incomings as well. Step 4, tackle and reduce high interest debts. High interest debts such as credit cards block your growth. Tackle that at the earliest in the financial year so that you can unlock real progress. Here's the thing, most people carry over debts from previous year to this year. Credits such as credit card balances, buy now, pay later, and personal loans. Credit cards sometimes tend to charge you between 18 to 40%. And club that along with your investment if you're actually doing another investment somewhere else. And if I take that consistently paying investments such as S&P 500, which gives you like 10% return annually, and you're subsequently paying 20% on your credit card, that's money working against you. First of all, stop that investment right away and then focus on clearing off that debt, the high interest one. This is how you can do that. Use the avalanche method or snowball method. List down all your debts and categorize one which has the highest amount of interest that you have to pay, and then pay minimum on the rest of them and pay the rest of the amount into the highest charging interest. And that way you clear that out first, and then you can focus on the rest of them. Check for options such as zero balance offer as well. And if you're eligible for one, you might want to consider that. The only catch on that one is you'll have to pay a fee initially, which is 3 to 5%. And if there is an option for you to refinance on your loan and get a better interest rate, go ahead, look for one. And if that option is available for you, consider using that. Get your debts under control, and that'll give you a complete better understanding of your income and what's left over for you to concentrate and build that financial freedom. Build or strengthen your emergency fund. A recent survey was conducted in the UK. 40% of the people lack £1,000 surprises, and that's purely down to not having enough emergency fund set up for themselves to protect with all these kind of unexpected expenses. You might be asking this question to yourself, or you might be saying to yourself that I wouldn't have any of these kind of things. Life would be perfectly normal. But nothing is perfectly normal these days. Life throws curveballs such as unexpected car repairs, job losses, or that boiler breakdown. If you're not equipped to deal with these expenses and set aside some money to tackle this, you'll be dipping into your investment when the market is really down. That means you're selling something at a loss. As a beginner, aim to set up and put aside £1,000. You don't have to put £1,000 straight away, but you can do this gradually. Calculate your monthly expenses and then multiply that by 3 or 6 months. And that'll tell you exactly how much you should have in that easy access savings account. And each year, look at your expenses and try and rebalance your emergency fund. That way you will stay in control and you are well equipped for anything that life throws at you, and you have your protective safety net to fall back on. Step 6, optimize your investing approach. And here's the thing, if you delay your investment, then you're losing the momentum and the opportunity to compound your wealth. Average return, the S&P 500, has been returning between 7 to 10% year on year for decades. And for the last 10 years, it's gone up by 13.6%. So if you delay your investment, you're losing out on that opportunity to compound your wealth. And most of the people wait for the perfect opportunity to start investing. They wait for the perfect time when the market dips or when the market is going up. That's when they actually start investing. And those delays are costing you thousands of pounds in compounding growth. And the more you keep your money in a savings account, it gets eroded due to inflation. If you're a beginner, start with ISA account, an individual savings account. This is a tax efficient account. So any capital gains or dividends that you receive in this account is completely tax-free. And if you're under the age of 30, you've got a best product here in the UK called Lisa. You have the opportunity to put aside £4,000 annually, and the government will add another £1,000 into this account for free. The only catch is you can take out this money only when you have to buy your first property here in the UK, up to a maximum of £450,000, or this money can be accessed at the time of retirement. So it's worth having this account plus an ISA account. Contribute each month into this account. Start putting away some money, a fixed amount of money into these accounts. You want to invest that money into ETFs. Take, for example, S&P 500. This is returning approximately about 10% each year. So pick a product which charges you low fees. You can even invest into Vanguard FTSE All World Index, which basically invests your money across the globe in the top companies around the globe. That way your money is diversified and protected. And each year, look at your investment and see if it needs to be rebalanced. And finally, review your taxes and maximize allowances. Most of the individuals find taxes way too complicated. It's quite straightforward. You can go on the website and you can do your own self-assessment. Track your spending, check where your allowances are, whether you can claim any, and make sure you file that. That way you stay in control and you are maximizing your tax-free allowances as well. And there you have it, the 7 steps for you to get your financial house in order. Review your past expenses honestly, set motivating goals, refresh your budget, reduce debts, build an emergency fund, optimize your investment, and finally, review taxes. These will set your foundation right in the new financial year. And the key takeaway is these small, consistent steps create lasting opportunities. And if you do this, even 2 of these actionable plans, then you are way ahead of most of the people who have not even thought about that. And if you feel more in control after watching this video, then hit that subscribe button. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.